So in the past, whenever I've talked about cars and motoring, people have asked me about the cost of things. I've been asked what I pay for insurance, what I pay for the road tax. So I thought I'd do a little part 2 to the cost of living video that I did. So before I did a video, something like entitled What We Pay, and I just broke down housing costs. So today I thought I'd do motoring, but literally with examples. So I have a Skoda Yeti 2015 2-litre diesel, and my car was imported from the UK. And my friend has a little Vauxhall Corsa, or Opel for Europe, Corsa. The year has eluded me, but I'll get all the details in a minute. So I just thought I'd do an example of what she pays and what I pay, because some people have said that imported cars pay more road tax. I don't know how true that is, but anyway, I always think real life examples are great, so I'll tell you exactly what we both pay. So for my car, as I said, it is a 2015 Skoda Yeti. It's kind of classed as an MPV. It's not a 4x4. This model often is, but mine isn't. 2-litre diesel. Now, for the road tax, I pay €241 a year. It's a right-hand drive imported from the UK. I don't know if that makes any difference. As I said, some people say it does. My insurance is €183 with free breakdown. To be honest, I don't even know the details because I'm a tight ass. I probably went for the cheapest insurance. I know I always tell them to up my excess to the maximum because I've been driving for over 35 years and have not had an accident. I have gazillion years no claims bonus. They stop counting after 9, so I just always go for the cheapest. I ain't planning on having any crashes. IMT inspection, as in the UK MOT yearly inspection, €35.89. So I've just recently had a service done. That was €250. That was not the small oil service, but the more fuller one. So my air filters, pollen filter, oil change, oil filter, a good service. I recently needed a new battery. That cost me €115. I've gone through many tyres and they normally cost me €100 per tyre. I've seen other people get them for €30. I don't like to skimp on tyres. I always ask for ones that are, because I do go on a lot of dirt tracks and stuff, so I always ask for not off-road tyres, but ones that are good for both. I don't know, because I do a lot of motorway driving, so there's no point in having grippy tyres on the motorway, but I don't skimp on tyres. The fuel at the moment for diesel, I think it's averaging around 1.55 a litre. There's tolls. Now, I'm a real driver. I think nothing about jumping in the car and going on a 2 to 3 hour journey. So there'd be no point in me telling you what I pay for tolls. But when I was a full-time house sitter, nomadic, travelling around Portugal, my tolls were like averaged at €90 a month. Yeah, €90, 90 to €100 a month is what I was paying in tolls. But obviously that's going to be different for everybody. And as I said, I'm a real explorer and a real driver. So my friend's little Corsa is 2018. She bought it here in Portugal very recently and she paid €13,750 and it had, I know because it's written here, I don't know why I said I think, 94,000 kilometres on the clock, or 58,400 miles, and it came with an 18-month warranty. Her road tax is €148 and her insurance was €244, which is a very bizarre insurance because she said it doesn't include collision and theft. Well, I thought that was kind of the main things insurance was supposed to include, so I'm not quite sure why hers is so expensive and it doesn't include them things, but that's what she pays. you know, and I only pay on 198. So I think that's about it. But I just wanted to give you a quick rundown of some examples of what we pay to just carry on as a little part 2 thing on the cost of living at the moment in Portugal. And as I said, somebody always asks what I'm paying for insurance and road tax and stuff. So there we have it. So I'm here with Penny. This is Penny's
Hello.
car, who kindly let us do all her figures for her car. So
Okay.
she bought this. I remember you going off to car hunt all
Yes.
the time. So she's going to tell us about her experience of, are they sleazy car salespeople? Or were they nice? Anyway, I shouldn't say that, but don't you have a feeling of sleazy when you think of car salespeople for some reason?
I mean,
estate agents and car sales. I don't know where this is chopping in, but we had a bit of giggles, so that this might not make any sense. But I just said something about sleazy car salespeople. But anyway, Penny's going to tell us what it was like looking
Okay.
for a car.
Okay, well, since I'm from the US, because I drive an automatic, it was
I forgot about that.
it was difficult to find an automatic car. So that was my first thing, was challenging, and the price of the automatic was about 5,000 euros more
Is
than
it that much of a difference?
yes.
See, all
In
you
my
US
experience,
people,
yeah,
with
yeah.
what do you call it? Get stick
stick shift.
stick shift.
Yeah,
You can't
yeah.
drive your stick
Yeah,
shift.
yeah. Well, I can
That's
drive.
how we
but
do.
there's
Not
some-
can't, but yeah.
yeah, the trauma. But anyway, that's not what this is about. Right. So it was harder to find an automatic. I have notes. The automatics were more expensive than
That's a
manual,
big
and like I
difference,
said,
though.
yeah, 5,000. I purchased from the dealership, and there were 2 websites that I used: Stand Virtual and like local dealerships, not
Yeah.
couple.
What's Stand Virtual? That's not like a big.
It's like the nationwide, where a lot
yeah.
of dealerships put their cars. And in the US we have CarMax and where's the one I sold my car in the US to? Carvana. Right. Stand Virtual also has like they have dealerships. Oh god, this is
And private.
and private. That's the word I was looking for. I decided to buy from a dealership because it comes with warranty, and my car came with 18 months warranty. And there are some, even today when I was looking back at what I did, there is one with 36 months
Wow.
warranty. So it's
Yeah.
beneficial to get from a dealership. The dealership that I purchased from didn't have a service history, which is weird for an American. Like if you buy a car from a dealership, you can get a printout of service history, and I didn't get
So
that.
no service history.
No. Although Stand Virtual, on some places I saw where it says you can purchase a service history, but I don't know how they would get I don't know. It just seemed weird to me, and you have to be careful what you're purchasing. Okay, so when I purchased my car, it seemed okay. As soon as I got it, I realized that the USB port was missing.
Missing?
Yeah, there wasn't anything there. There was nothing
What?
there.
Just a hole?
Yeah. And I called them and I said, if it was for sale and it was on the lot for over a year, I was looking at it, why wasn't that fixed? And then also a light came on and the manual said that I shouldn't drive the car, and they told me it's okay, drive the car. So then I didn't have my car for an entire week after I purchased it. So that really, really irritated me.
That horrible light that when you look in the manual, it just says, and it's a warning, take it straight to the nearest.
Right. And they said so for the whole week. And those 2 things, I wondered if the car was on the lot and it had been serviced and ready for sale, why weren't those things fixed?
Did you notice when you was looking a lot of cars that had been sitting there for a long time, or is there quite a turnover?
There wasn't a lot of turnover because this car was there for a while. And if you want a car that's like a BMW or Mercedes Benz,
tell them about your Mercedes lady.
I told him I didn't want anything like a Mercedes Benz or anything. I'm a Jeep Wrangler, like Prius driver, like more granola. And she kept trying to sell me a Mercedes Benz, and like months later, I have an automatic, it's a Mercedes, and the next time I have an automatic,
I don't want a Mercedes.
I don't want a Mercedes, and she kept Mercedes. Anyway, I decided to get this one, but she was very good, like trying to find a car for me. What else?
Did you feel like they were trustworthy, or did you feel some of them were a little bit dodgy?
For the 2 dealerships in town that I went to, I felt like they were trustworthy. But then when the light and these things, the USB and the light, it made me question if they were being 100% honest.
And what about choice? Apart from if you wanted a
Not a lot.
Mercedes, it would have been great. But...
Exactly. And Mercedes and automatic. For some reason, they had a lot of those.
Yeah.
But not a lot of choices for automatic.
Okay.
Although, like in Lisbon and Porto, obviously, they have more options.
So just for reference, we are in the middle of the Silver Coast Cantonade, which is a medium-ish sized town. It's a good size, yeah. Oh,
Let's see what else, and maybe we can. So you already talked about the insurance.
yes.
Okay, didn't have a.
We have got to be. Hey, Nelson, why are you always carrying on? Now they're both trying to get in the car, and Nelson's growling at Terry.
I think I covered dealership also guaranteed insurance. Okay, yeah. I think I covered everything on there.
Well, thank you very
You're
much.
welcome.
Oh my God, look at this dog. Look at this dog. Look at. There's something else.
Oh God, he's not. Oh my God. He's like, Terry did it, so now it's my turn.
Oh, you're something else, Nelson.